Are Democrats in a position now where if Joe Biden drops out, they have to replace him with Kamala Harris, who would be the first black female president? Now, if you said that 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, people would perhaps claim that you're racist, but this is a sentiment now being shared by mainstream people.
You believe the vice president steps into that role and that the Democrats ultimately support her in that position, or do you think we're talking about a completely different team?
Once again, who's going to step up? I can name you half a dozen people who would be better than her right now, but I'm talking to them and nobody wants to challenge her because nobody... Okay, I'm going to be direct.
Yep.
God help me. You may never have me on the show again.
You don't even have to say it. We understand.
Nobody wants to knock out an African-American woman and be held responsible for that.
Right.
And that is the truth. And that's something that maybe I shouldn't... Maybe I'm going to be criticized when I walk off of here. But she's got such a strong position because of that.
So that's Frank Luntz, who's a popular political pollster. I've never seen him on television giving any sort of like hot political take on either side. He just comes out and he runs focus groups, says what he thinks about the upcoming election. Even he's not just some right-wing guy, is saying that Kamala Harris, because of her, she's a black female, has such a strong position. And by the way, that clip there, I did not play the entirety of it, but the person asking the question, Andrew Ross Sorkin's his name, he did not push back on what Frank Luntz said. And Andrew Ross Sorkin, if he thought that what Frank Luntz was saying was racist, he probably would have. Andrew Ross Sorkin is basically a woke journalist.
The difference between a big box retailer and a restaurant, or frankly, even a church, are so different, it's unbelievable. Going into a big box retailer,
I disagree.
You're wearing a mask.
You can have your thoughts and I can have mine.
You're required to wear a mask.
I disagree.
It's science. I'm sorry. It's science. If you're wearing a mask, it's a different story.
500 people at a Lowe's aren't any safer than 150 people in a restaurant that holds 600. I don't believe it.
That's a clip from COVID where Andrew Ross Sorkin is arguing in favor of restaurant restrictions. That gives you kind of an idea of where he's at politically. Even he is not going to push back when someone on his show says that it's very difficult to move Kamala Harris out of the race if somebody else wanted to replace her just because of her skin color and her gender. And it's not just Frank Luntz, the pollster, saying this. A bunch of people publicly are saying this, and these aren't extreme. And it's not just Frank Luntz saying this, the pollster. A bunch of people are now publicly saying this, and they're not extremists.
We are going to get President Kamala Harris. She's the only alternative. You can see this in the prediction markets. Just a few days ago, it was sort of evenly divided between there was her, there was Gavin Newsom, there was Gretchen Whitmer. Now it's just her. Why does that happen? Because they realize they can't sidestep Kamala Harris without offending a major constituency in the Democratic Party.
And in a sense, this is not fair to Kamala Harris. She's not the one that made society the way this is. This video and this subject is really more of a critique of society itself. The New York Post had a post on Twitter, which I don't think is the right way to say this for sure, and it was criticized by many Democrats, but New York Post tweeted out, "America may soon be subjected to the country's first DEI president, Kamala Harris." That's not, again, I don't really think this is fair to Kamala Harris in this instance. Like, she's not the person who single-handedly, for sure, made society kind of go this way, where we're in a position now where so many people think that just because of her status as black and female, she has to be elevated, or else it will be seen as racist, even if perhaps she's actually not the most qualified for the job. Personally, I'm not sure. Like, maybe Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer or whatever are more qualified, but as it stands right now, Kamala Harris is the current vice president, and it looks like if Joe Biden does drop out, she will be the front runner for the Democratic nominee for 24. So with that said, I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.